there is a danger in accepting the belief that you are old. And that danger is that you shrink until you get to the point where you're no longer living. You're alive, but you're not living. So the first thing that I want to say is that you are not old. No matter how old you are, you cannot be old. That's because you are a timeless, energetic force that is occupying this temporary structure so that you can live. It's allowing you the experience of life. The problem is that many of us don't make that association. We associate ourselves, our I, with the structure that we occupy, the body that does over time break down and return to the earth. When you see yourself as the body, you connect yourself to society's rules regarding the body. Rules that existed before we were born. Rules that we choose to obey during our lifespan. And it's the obedience to these rules that cause a great deal of suffering. So an example is, let's say that you're someone who loves to dance. You've been dancing all of your life. It makes you feel free. It makes you feel alive. And then all of a sudden someone says, you're too old to dance, or you're too old to dance in a particular type of way. And you accept that to be true, that you're too old to do that. And then you stop. So in that moment, there's a part of yourself that you love, that made you feel alive, but you chose to let it go. And as a result, you shrank just a little bit more. We actually do this a lot during our lifespan. And every time we do it, we shrink until we eventually disappear. Because we live in a society that is so terrified of aging and physical death that as your youth fades, what it does is pushes you to disappear so it doesn't have to see you. And most of us know this. The biggest regret that people have in their last stage of life is that they didn't live to the fullest. And this is one of the reasons why, because so many times along the way, they accepted the idea that they were old and they stopped living. They allowed themselves to shrink. I mean, just think about this. Society does not trust the youth. And that's why young people are always put in situations to where their youth is literally being stolen. They're in school for most of their youth, and then they go to college for most of their youth, and then they're working 40 hours a week until society starts to ring that bell and say, you're old. And then all of those rules associated with age start to come along. So when do you ever get to be young? When do you ever get to be free? Unless you decide to break those rules and say, fuck that, I'm gonna live my life to the fullest. Your physical age is not just a number. Things do change. The body falls apart, the body dies. But so many of the rules regarding the age of your body are life depriving to follow. If you stop doing what you love because you're 30 and society says that you shouldn't do that anymore, or if you stop giving the world what you are here to bless it with because you turn 50 and the society says that you shouldn't do that anymore, the end of your journey is almost certainly going to be regret. You're going to feel like you were robbed. The rules regarding age and so many other things that keep us from living are here for you to break through so that you can get to the end and say, I've emptied myself. Even if you don't accomplish everything that you wanted to accomplish, you can go out with peace knowing that you gave it your all and you lived your life fully.